Are we doing today? Today we're going to be watching Charlie Adelson's sentencing, and then if it's long enough, either between the breaks or after the sentencing is over, we're going to go over to Donna Adelson. She had her emergency motion yesterday and arraignment, and it's pretty short, but we're going to watch it together. And I also have the court doc that I want to read as well. But good morning. It's very early. It's 7:30 over here. I'm up bright and early. All right, I need to get my medication too. So that's Charlie Adelson right there with his lawyer. Oh, we're starting on time? Oh man, I was gonna get my medication. Look at the new outfit he's wearing.
Going to turn on the Zoom, and once I'm logged in, at that point, we will move forward.
Ooh, was that too loud? Hi, Lily. How are you doing today? I know, he looks very different, doesn't he? Hey, man, listen. When you locked up like that, you ain't got access to beauty care, all right? Good morning, Brandon. How are you doing today? Okay, so while the judge is sitting with Zoom, I'm gonna go get my medication really quick. Hold on a second. Good morning. Hi, Chris, Daniela, Jane, Paul, Lily. How was everyone's weekend? Oh, and I finally got around to posting Jeff Lacoste's interrogations that we watched last stream. And then the podcast where we listened about Rob as well, Rob Adelson, the eldest Adelson sibling.
As with all things computers, it needs an update. Let's go ahead and make the appearances while the computer is performing its function.
All right.
Sarah Dugan for the state, Your Honor.
We love a computer update.
Mr. Adelson, who's present.
And we're here this morning for final disposition after jury trial.
Oh, sorry, it's a little jittery.
Case. Did either the state or the defense have anything they needed to raise concerning the pre-sentence investigation report?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Very well. The pre-sentence investigation report will be filed as a part of the court record. Once the Zoom has finished updating, from there I will open up the Zoom room, and I believe the victims' families were intending to either be present or make additional victim impact statements. Ms. Kappelman?
Sir. We have several members of the family that will be present and one that will be speaking on behalf of the family.
Sorry, can you guys hear the lawyers?
Mr. Rauschbaum, does your client wish to make a statement, or will you be making any argument on behalf of counts 2 and 3?
Both of us will be making a very quick statement. I'll make a quick argument, and Mr. Adelson would like to make a very quick statement.
He'll be given the opportunity to do so. First, we will take the victim impact statements. If the parties are intending to sign into the Zoom, you may do so. Just make sure your devices are on mute or problems.
Okay, I got this. You can hear the lawyers. Okay, I know the judge is significantly louder than the lawyers. I just want to make sure you guys can hear the lawyers. They're a little bit muffled. Yeah. We've got a little bit of tech issues, but for the most part, the audio and the video looks good, but a little bit of jitters here and there. Also, I do have my breakfast here. I'm going to be eating it really shortly because I'm hungry. So audible. Okay. I'll try to adjust the audio as I go because I have like a volume meter here. But you guys can always watch it again because when I re-edit these videos, I try to fix the audio so it's a little bit better. Hit the like for Corky. Thanks. How's everyone doing this morning? Long weekend trying to chase clients for your freelancing bid. If you need a video editor or writer, hit me up. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. What kind of content creators have you been working for? Any true crime ones? Guess he does need to look a little tougher for prison. The dentist look isn't going to help him any. I want the old Charlie back. I want the old Charlie when he was arrested. The one with the crazy hair.
Good morning, Mr. Markel.
Good morning, sir.
I believe Mr. Markel and Shelley Markel
Oh, Dan Markel's parents, I believe.
is capital expecting.
One more.
I think the audio content is all the same, right? Maybe it's just law and crime. Let me go to Tallahassee, Democrat. All right, I love you, law and crime. Let's go direct to this people. Let's see if it's better. He sure ain't smirking no more. I do feel so bad for Dan's parents. Having to be dragged through this for like 10 years plus.
I was about to ask that question.
All right, Judge, I think we're ready.
All right. Good morning. At this time, we are going to start with the victim impact statements. Mr. Markel, I understand you are going to provide it today on behalf of the family.
Yes, thank you.
You may speak when you're ready. Take all the time you need.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Phil Markel. I am Dan Markel's father. Dan, my only son, was born October 9, 1972, in Montreal, Quebec. During that time in Quebec, husbands were not allowed to actually be in the delivery room during a child's birth. However, since the obstetrician was a very close friend of ours, I was allowed to experience the most amazing of moments, the birth of my son. I will never forget the emergence of his head, and then those shoulders of an NFL football fullback, a boy of 10 pounds. There I was, holding in my arms this gift of life, my bundle of absolute sheer joy. From the time he was a child, my son had tremendous energy, intelligence, and great warmth. Dan had a vibrant, fun-loving personality and lived life to its fullest. Danny loved to socialize, dance, cook, entertain, and play sports, and dedicated himself wholeheartedly to everything that he did. He always looked to do his utmost to improve and achieve better results in every activity that he did. This desire of improvement and commitment to excellence was a defining characteristic of his short life. I fondly remember taking Danny skiing up the hills in the Laurentian Mountains in Quebec when he was just 2 years old. He rode up the mountain between my legs, holding on to the T-bar, and then coming down the ski hill yelling with great joy, "Faster, Daddy, faster!" Then, as he grew a little older, he played hockey at the local park. To improve his skating skills, he requested to take a speed skating lesson with a local coach who was from Russia, and he had a reputation of being a very tough coach. Dan persevered, and after every hockey lesson, he came off the ice with a red face, totally out of breath, because he always gave it his all. At about the age of 13, Danny developed the idea that he was going to Harvard University for his college education. He discovered that the acceptance requirements for Harvard were not only good grades, but also work for the community and charitable work. To achieve these goals, he revived his high school newspaper. He became the newspaper's editor, the business manager, and performed charitable deeds and volunteered in the community. After years of hard work and determination, Dan was accepted to Harvard. He graduated from Harvard magna cum laude, went on to study at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem for 1 year, and then earned a master's in philosophy and political theory from Emmanuel College at the University of Cambridge in England. He returned thereafter to Harvard Law School to earn his law degree, and went on to become an extremely successful lawyer, influential legal scholar. Dan served as a law clerk for a federal judge worked as an associate at a prestigious law firm in Washington, D.C., and then secured a prestigious teaching position at FSU College of Law. In a few short years, Dan became a full tenured law professor before the tender age of 41, quite unusual. Dan co-authored a book and published many articles in highly regarded law journals and newspapers like the New York Times. Dan's work was influential, and he gave lectures and presented at universities around the world. Although Dan was fond of his Canadian roots, he was very dedicated to the FSU Law School and the Tallahassee community. He was recognized as a scholar who contributed and made a difference in the world. While Dan's career was important to him, family meant everything to Dan. Dan's marriage produced two boys, Benjamin.
So I guess on here it's a little bit. Sorry, I turned off my camera because I'm just eating right now. Yeah, I mean it's all from the same feed, so. Or actually, I don't know. Is it the same feed?
Lincoln, who were his absolute world and beloved things to him. Dan made sure that.
Okay, I'll just have both up just in case then.
Benjamin and Lincoln were his pride and joy, and meant absolutely everything to him. Dan made sure that he and the boys came to Montreal and Toronto to attend every family affair and visit with all the extended Markel family, including grandparents, uncles, aunts, and many numerous cousins. Despite the distance, Dan felt that the boys had to know and be a part. He also made sure that he and the boys participated in the Tallahassee community. They were involved in the local synagogue and neighborhood. Dan left home at the young age of 17 to go to Harvard, but he always came home for summer vacation, holidays, and all family functions. Danny and I, despite the fact that we lived quite far apart, regularly communicated by text, email, and phone calls. Despite the physical distance, as time moved on, we grew ever so much closer. At Dan's suggestion, we would plan to talk and have a meal together. At the appointed day and time, we each would prepare our meals, set our tables with a tablet in the middle, and over Skype, we would sit together and enjoy each other's company for a couple of hours despite the actual distance. Dan's life was abruptly cut short, and he was forever taken from me, his boys, and the rest of our family, and all his many friends and colleagues. My life has been in total disarray since Dan's murder.
Yeah, it's a pretty complicated case.
I wake up in the middle of the night in a terrible sweat with thoughts of Dan's murder and all that has happened. There is not a single day in my life since Danny's death that in one way or another he does not enter into my thoughts. And I miss him with all my heart. I'm constantly reminded of Dan's murder and his absence. When I meet new people, the topic of discussion always comes up when they ask whether I have children. How do I respond? It is difficult to put into words the heinous acts that took Danny away from us, the unthinkable pain that I must live with every single day. Losing a son or a daughter is something I wish nobody should have to experience. It's not in the order of nature. Danny, continue to hope and pray for justice and the return to normalcy of seeing and playing a vital role in the lives of our two grandsons, Ben and Lincoln. It has been a number of years since I last wrote a victim impact statement, sharing Danny's death has affected me. Despite our persistent efforts, we still do not have a real relationship with Danny's sons, Ben and Lincoln. Visits are limited and very controlled. For 6 years, we were denied any and all visits with the boys. In the last 2 years, I've been permitted 2 60 to 90-minute visits.
I feel so bad for them.
This thing, and I feel like
So I just want to interrupt really quick. So what he's talking about right now is access to the grandchildren. So Dan Markel was married to Wendy. Dan Markel was murdered. Wendy, this is her brother right here. Wendy's brother, Wendy's mom, in on it. They hired 2 hitmen. There was another woman that was involved who was his ex-girlfriend. And essentially the grandparents are saying like, hey, like this murder happened like 10 years ago. And we've been having like really limited access to the grandchildren, especially within the past 6 years. It's restricted because, you know, I believe they also live in Canada as well. So they try to like come and make their visits to meet with Wendy and the 2 sons. But it seems like, you know, they don't really get a chance to like see them. And this is like, you know, just imagine having your son being murdered and the next of kin, which is his 2 children. Like, you know, you would want to spend as much time as you can with them, right?
not only have I lost my son, but I have effectively lost 2 of my grandkids as well. Even their family names have been changed from Markel to Adelson.
Yeah.
While we work hard to help introduce a new bill in the state of Florida known as the Markel Act, which gives grandparents important rights, unfortunately, our relationship with Ben and Lincoln has not been materially improved. As this bill was coming to fruition, there was a lot of negative publicity in the press and media about Danny's ex-wife, Wendy. In my opinion, Wendy was focused on improving her public image, and as a result, extended an invitation to us to Ben's bar mitzvah. Ruth and I were invited to attend only the ceremonial part of this important stage in the Jewish boy's life. And we were not invited to participate in any reception typical of this celebration. But this invitation opened the door to one of the limited visits described above. In order not overwhelm Ben and Lincoln on this important day, we asked to arrange a meeting before the bar mitzvah in order to make things easier on the boys, who we hadn't been allowed to visit in years. We were able to arrange a brief 90-minute supervised visit to Ben and Lincoln, and this will be a few weeks before the bar mitzvah. However, immediately after our brief visit, Charlie was arrested, and Wendy rescinded our invitation to the bar mitzvah. At the time, she said that they were going to either postpone or completely cancel this bar mitzvah ceremony. Neither of those happened. Excuse me.
Take your time, sir.
Instead, my understanding is that the Adelsons went on to have the bar mitzvah ceremony and party, all without the Markel family's presence or participation. Missing out on this important moment in Ben's life was incredibly painful. After so many years without Danny, we had hoped to make progress in forging a consistent relationship with his sons. But this still has many challenges. This is the year that Lincoln turns 13, the age of bar mitzvah. As yet, we have not been informed of bar mitzvah, nor if we will be invited to participate in this very important time of Lincoln's life. I have very little hope that we will be allowed to participate in this important life cycle event. Dan's murder brought his life abruptly to an end for no sensible reason. and has affected a countless number of people. The legal community is deprived of Dan's wisdom and ideas, which made the world a better place. Dan's students are deprived of the experience of having Dan as a brilliant professor and caring mentor, showing them a path. Dan's colleagues can no longer benefit from Dan's friendship, insights, and scholarly discussions and debates. Ruth and I have been deprived of our son, who has been taken away from us so suddenly. Ben and Lincoln must go through life without their father, who loved them with all his being. The boys have been deprived of their father's entire family after Dan's murder. We have no idea of what these two boys know or have been told about Danny's death.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe that they have from the ages of 3 and 4 years of age to the present day. I also have no idea what the boys know of us, the entire Markel family, our history, etc.
So he's saying that like he doesn't know what the boys, the two sons know about their father's death. I mean, like it happened when they were 3 and 4 years old, but they're older now, probably like 13, 14-ish. So it's really hard. Oh, hey, Rod. Thank you so much for the bits. How are you doing today? Good morning. It's really hard now for them to probably stay off of social media, and like friends and stuff like that. So I'm sure they've definitely heard some rumblings about Adelsons and then probably wondering, where's Charlie? Where's Uncle Charlie at? I haven't seen him in a bit, Where's grandmother Donna? I haven't seen her in a bit either. So I'm sure they probably have some inklings now, but I really do feel so bad for him because he's saying that like, he doesn't know what the boys know. And as far as like, the boys' familiarity with like Dan Markel's like side of the family, they don't really know much either. Like don't really have any, contact with the family members or anything like that. Yeah, it's just super sad.
etc. And especially how much we all love them and how we wish they were active part of our family. Both Ruth, sorry. Both Ruth and I are approaching 80 years of age.
Oh.
At this moment we are healthy, but one does not know what tomorrow brings. The wheels of justice turn very, very slowly, but so far we're very grateful that they're still turning. We're very grateful to Tallahassee law enforcement, to the state attorney and all their staff, to all our relatives and friends, including the hundreds of Danny's friends and colleagues around the world, for their constant support over these long 10 years. To all the podcasters who work hard to keep alive this unbelievable story. We are still waiting for Benjamin Lincoln to have a more normal relationship with the Markel family as we wait in pain and anguish. The Adelson family, in particular Charlie Adelson, has been a major cause of our heartbreak and the murder of our son Danny and the loss of our 2 grandsons. I have suffered tremendously.
I wonder why Charlie was shaking his head there. Hi, Katrina. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining the membership. I don't know, man. I'm sensing a performance right here. I think, like, of course, he's not as smug anymore because he's already had a conviction. But I think it's important for him to show that there's like contrition, because the judge is going to be doing the sentencing later. So Charlie has to look like he actually feels bad and maybe like feel sorry and, take this entire thing seriously. But him shaking his head like that and is like, Oh, Katrina, thank you so much for gifting memberships. Guys, welcome. Please give a huge thank you to Katrina. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
And we as a family continue to suffer. It is satisfying to see justice being done, and it would be appropriate to ask for the maximum sentence for the perpetrators of Danny's murder. Thank you. Today is a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Markel. Was there anything else that you wish to say as a part of your victim impact?
No, sir.
Ms. Ms. Kappelman?
Asking me.
Oh no, it's
The court
jittering.
has your honor.
So law and crime, I think maybe it jitters a little bit more, but with law and crime, we do have the subtitles. I don't know. I'm going to go back and forth between these two, but I do like how there's subtitles on law and crime. Yeah, huge thank you again to Katrina. I really appreciate it. All those alerts are coming through.
Received those and had an opportunity to review them.
I did. I was able to review the letters. They were also a part of the precedents investigation packet, which will be filed in the court file as well.
Yes, sir. Nothing further regarding victim impact.
What is the state's argument with regard to sentence, at least as it concerns counts 2 and 3?
In regards to counts 2 and 3, Your Honor, we are seeking the maximum sentence. We're asking for consecutive 30-year sentences on both of those. I have prepared a score sheet in reference to those. May I approach?
You may. Have you already showed the score sheet to Mr. Rushbaugh?
So, but I'll...
Hi, Georgia. This is Georgia Kaplan. What was her name again? I thought she kind of looked like Gwyneth Paltrow. Happy Cake Day.
Thank you. Does the state have any further presentation to make?
The only other matter...
Pearlie's going to give a brief statement that is interesting.
Go ahead.
The only other matter, Your Honor, is that in reference to costs of prosecution, we've been attempting to gather up some of the necessary financial paperwork from the FBI and TPD and my office as well to see if we can come to an agreement with the defense on what costs of prosecution should be ordered in this case. We have not been able to do that yet, so I would ask for Your Honor to reserve that issue for 90 days. It's possible, as I said, we can reach an agreement on it, but if not, I would ask for a hearing sometime around 90 days to make a determination about costs of prosecution.
Argument to make on behalf of your client as to counts 2 or 3.
Judge, we understand the situation. We just ask that those counts be run concurrently.
Very well. Mr. Adelson, I'm going to give you the opportunity to make a statement if you wish. You do not have to speak. However, this is your opportunity if you choose to do so.
Do it. Yeah, we know you
You
are.
may stand.
Sam. I would just like to say that I maintain my innocence.
No way. Seriously?
Well,
That's all you had to say?
please rise. I am now going to pronounce the sentence.
That's all he had to
With the
say.
jury having found you guilty of all 3 counts that you were charged with in your indictment of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and solicitation to commit first-degree murder, I am going to adjudicate you guilty of all 3 at this time, and you are going to be sentenced as follows. As to count 1, the first-degree murder count pursuant to section 782.04 and 775.082 Florida statutes, you are sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of release or parole. As to count 2, you are going to be sentenced consecutively to 30 years in the Department of Corrections for conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. As to count 3, you are going to be sentenced to 30 years in the Department of Corrections consecutively for solicitation to commit first-degree murder. The credit for time served that applies in this matter is how much?
597.
597 days will be applied as credit for time served in this case. If the clerk could please read all fees and costs that would apply as well.
$2,100 as a fine pursuant to Florida Statute 775.083, $105 as a 5% surcharge required by Florida Statute 938.04, $20 as a court cost pursuant to Florida Statute 9.
That's why he was shaking his head when Dan Markel was speaking. And I want to rewind back to that because I was like, why was he shaking his head? He was shaking his head because he was saying, I'm not the cause of your guys' anguish. It's not me. It's not my fault.
938.06, Crime Stopper Trust Fund, $3 as a court cost pursuant to Florida Statute 938.01, subsection 1, Criminal Justice Trust Fund, $50 pursuant to Florida Statute 938.03, Crime Compensation Trust Fund, $225 pursuant to Florida Statute 938.05, Local Government Criminal Justice Trust Fund, $2 of the court cost pursuant to Florida Statute 938.15, County Criminal Justice Education, County Code 7-26, $50 of the court cost
Zoom
pursuant
in.
to Florida Statute 775.083, subsection 2, County Crime Prevention, $3 of the court cost pursuant to Florida Statute 938.19, Teen Court Assessment, Leon County, Florida Code 7-28, $65 of the court cost pursuant to Florida Statute 939.185, County Additional Court Cost, County Code 7-24, with a total of $2,623.
Mr. Rauschbaum, is there any lawful objection for you to raise to the assessment as announced by the clerk?
No, Your Honor.
Those amounts will be assessed at this time. Ms. Kappelman, I will reserve 90 days of jurisdiction to address the cost of prosecution in this case. By statute, the state is entitled to the 100, but this is in excess of the 100 is what you're referring to.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. 30 days to appeal both your conviction and now your sentence. Mr. Adelson, you are going to be fingerprinted today, and from here you are going to be sent to the Department of Corrections to begin serving your sentence. Mr. Rauschbaum, if you please can timely file the notice of appeal so that way there is no issues regarding any review of the conviction itself. Does either party have anything further to raise to the court before we finish for today?
Nothing from the state.
No, Your Honor.
We are in recess.
Good job,
Mr. and
Georgia
Mrs.
Kaplan.
Markell, have a good day. Thank you for being available so you can provide your victim impact statements. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Cheyenne, you can take this. This is the pre-sentence investigation information.
Anyone else in chat thought he was going to say more than that?
2 count 1.
That was such a lazy speech. I think he was better off just not saying anything, honestly. Queen, thank you so much for the 10. Sending a super sticker to express the appreciation for the laughter entertainment you bring to us. Thanks, Corgi. Oh my gosh, Queen, thank you. I appreciate your support. Thank you for the little sticker. Typical narcissist. This Katrina. We gotta go to Donna after this. Yeah, actually, I've never seen them do Prince right there. Hey, Tom, thank you so much for the Prime on Twitch. How are you? Hello. How's it going? Hey, every court does it differently, okay? All right, that's it. That's all we got. Very short sentencing. Thank you, Taxi. How are you? Good morning. So that was very short. That was very short. I don't know. I thought he was gonna say more than that. Instead of just going up there and saying, what did his stupid head say when he went up there? I maintain my innocence. Where are we at here? When did he start speaking? Is it over here?
Give you the opportunity to make a statement if you wish. You do not have to speak. However, this is your opportunity if you choose to do so.
I do.
You may stand.
Stand. I would just like to say that I maintain my innocence.
Well,
The judge did
please
not buy
rise.
it.
I'm now going to pronounce.
The judge's like, okay, all right. Like, I mean, honestly, though, if like any of us are up there and we were framed for a crime or we were wrongly convicted, y'all would be bawling your eyes up. They'd be like, I didn't do this. I swear I didn't do this. I wasn't involved in any of this. I loved my brother-in-law. You know, we may not have the best of relationships, but he was there for, he's like the son of my nieces, you know, like, I don't just like say stuff like that. No, not nieces, nephews. Nephews is boys, right? Yeah, nephews. I don't know. Just go up there and just like, it would just be so different. It wouldn't just be like, oh, I maintain my innocence. It would just be like, I didn't do this. Like, I can't believe I'm going away for something that I didn't do. You know, it was all Katie's doing. Because his whole defense was that he had nothing to do with this. He complained to the wrong person, which was his ex-girlfriend, Katie, and she decided to take matters in his own hands by hiring the father of her children and like his best friend, the father of their children and the best friend. And they murdered Dan Markel just so they can pin it on Charlie and blackmail him and say, hey, you were the one that hired us, so we're going to blackmail you. And then Georgia Kaplan, I believe when she was doing the cross-examination, or was it direct examination? I don't remember when Charlie testified because I haven't seen that yet. I've only seen bits and pieces. But she went up there and asked him, have you ever heard of, sometimes the simplest explanation is the explanation, or something like that. And then he was like, well, you know, and she's like, you know, like, why would they go through all of that when they could have just went to you directly? You know, like they essentially, if they knew he had money, they could have just fucking robbed him. Why commit murder and then try to blackmail him and pin it on him if they just wanted to get money at the end of the day? Why not just go to the source of the person who has money and just steal from them directly? So that was his defense there. And, you know, that didn't work. Also, so just to recap a little bit. So he's got, let's see, for guilty for all three counts. Count 1, murder first degree, life with no possibility of parole. Count 2 was 30 years, conspiracy to commit first degree murder. And then count 3 was solicitation to commit first degree murder. 30 years as well, served consecutively. But I mean, he's already got life with no possibility of parole. And also the judge right there, I don't know if y'all noticed, but that's the same judge that was presiding in Donald Adelson's arraignment as well. We are going to watch it afterwards. Chilling, working. The audacity. Yeah, shameless. Shameless. All right, it was short and sweet. Next thing I want to watch. Let's go to Donna Adelson. Have you guys seen Donna Adelson yet? She appeared in court yesterday, and I was going to watch it, but I was like, you know, let's just watch together when we do the sentencing for Charlie Adelson. Let me go to Donna. Another one bites the dust. The judge. I didn't want to see Charlie's reaction. I want to see the judge's reaction. Yeah, okay, sir. Sure. Mm-hmm. Let me go to my history. Let me find Donna Adelson. It's my watch later, I think. Donna Adelson. Yeah, Donna. I'm going to actually have some zoom-ins for Donna Adelson's because she was very expressive during court yesterday. And I think she was even saying things out loud to the point where the judge had to, you know, tell her to, Donna, keep your mouth shut, okay? Let your lawyer do the speaking. All right. So Donna Adelson. Donna Adelson was arrested on her way to not Miami. Donna Adelson was arrested on her way to Vietnam. She had a one-way ticket. She was going to fly there with her husband, Harvey. But they got her. They picked her up and they arrested her. And they charged her also for having an involvement in the murder of Dan Markel. Now, she's been in, I think she's been, how long has she been in prison for? Has it been maybe like over a month now? Oh, November 13. Oh, it has been a month, like almost a month exactly. Okay, so it's been like a month now. Now, her counsel, this is her defense attorney right here. Her counsel put in like an emergency motion. And let's go over the emergency motion because that's what they're going to address during this right here. And then afterwards, they go into the arraignment, which is like super short, where Donna Adelson's going to put in she's basically going to say guilty or not guilty. And we all know she does not guilty. And I just want to read this really quick and then we'll watch the video. It's like super short. That was anticlimactic. You know, I was hoping Charlie would say something more. Because I feel like at this point, like, you're pretty fucking toast, you know? Now they're going after your mom as well. I don't know. Maybe they still thought they could still beat this, you know? You know, some people are just that arrogant. Some people will deny till they die. That is a thing, unfortunately. All right, let me drag this over here. So I want to go back and forth between the emergency motion, and then we're going to listen to the Donna Adelson stuff, and then we'll go back and forth because I think that makes it easier. Okay, and then let me update this part right here. The judge is meeting the family one by one. Oh, you mean the Adelsons? Yeah, we're all waiting to see what happens with Wendy. He paid Kathleen, was Kathleen's baby daddy who committed the murder. The only link between Charlie, Kathleen's baby daddy, was Kathleen herself. Yeah, I mean, they have the payments that's going to Katie. And these checks were signed by Donna. I don't know, man. Like, they try to be so careful with everything, but at the same time, they were just so sloppy. It's just super sloppy. All right, so let me go to... She's not a criminal lawyer. Who? Donna Adelson's attorney? All right, let's start with this. Oh, God, why is it like that? Oh, it's because I have it zoomed in, I think. Sorry, it's really early. I'm still pretty tired. It's 8 o'clock a.m. right now. All right, so let's read this. Filed on December 5th, 2023. Oh, that's Dennis's birthday. Emergency motion to enjoin the jail for an independent psychological evaluation or release to house arrest. Can you imagine Donna house arrest? This is a woman who had a one-way ticket to Vietnam. Donna house arrest? No, thank you. Donna Sue Adelson, pursuant to the United States Constitution, hereby moves this court to enjoin the Leon County Jail from subjecting her to her current conditions of confinement and direct the Leon County Jail to place Donna in a unit where she can prepare for trial and speak to her family or conduct independent psychological evaluation, or to be placed in a different unit where she can properly prepare for trial and speak to her family. Alternatively, she requests to be released on house arrest, coupled with standard conditions of pretrial release in support thereof, states as follows. This is the introduction. We'll get to this part later. But yeah, we're not, no, house arrest, no, not for Donna. She was going to escape. She was going to go to Vietnam. You know, we don't want her running off. We want her to we want to watch her in trial. We want to make sure that Dan Markel's family gets more justice. So the reason why Donna Adelson was put into, I think it's like some sort of like a suicide watch, essentially, was because I believe it was after the verdict, her and Charlie had a phone call. And in this phone call, she was talking about essentially unaliving herself. And she also talked about, I believe, even, oh man, I wish we could just listen to the phone call, because I'm just trying to remember what the court, what the doc said. It was unaliving herself, and I think her, you know, talking about plans to like go somewhere. I don't know if she lives in Vietnam specifically, but they listened to this call and they're like, you know, hey, this woman says she had plans to unalive herself. So we have to make sure she doesn't do that. We have to make sure she's in a safe environment, because if she were to unalive herself, then, you know, we're going to have to be responsible for that. So we're not going to be responsible for that. But let's go to Donna Adelson over here, and we're going to jump back and forth between the two.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Stephen Miller presiding.
Good afternoon. Everyone can be seated.
Judge.
Before we get going, I'm going to log into Zoom. I believe Ms. Kappelman, the alleged victim's family, is waiting to view the proceedings on Zoom.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let me get signed
You like to
in,
hear the phone call? I don't know. Maybe we'll hear it in the trial.
and from there we'll get started.
Good morning. Hi. What's up with Donna's defense lawyer? You mean like her facial expressions? All right, just loading up the Zoom really quick. Hopefully no software update. Oh God, not the DB, Lemon. Not the DB.
In state of All right, we're here this afternoon in state of Florida versus Donna Adelson, 2023 CF 3226. Counsel of record as to each party may make their appearances.
Georgia Kappelman and Sarah Catherine Dugan for the state.
Oh, Sarah Dugan. That's her name. Okay, I need to write that down.
Marisol Descalzo on behalf of Donna Adelson, who's present in court and seated to my left.
Mr. Pimentel, Mr. Toomey, go ahead.
Greg Toomey, Your Honor, for both the Sheriff's Office and, yes, Chair, the medical provider in the jail.
Sheriff's Office General Counsel James Pimentel, sir.
All right. For everyone that is observing on Zoom, please do not interfere with the hearing. Of course, you may observe as to everything that takes place. Mr. Scalzo, I've reviewed your emergency motion to enjoin the jail. Is there any further argument or testimony that you wish to take in support of your motion?
Your Honor, I'll just add to supplement to my motion, which was filed last week, that we are now on day 22 of direct observation. Mrs. Adelson continues unable to participate in her defense. She's not permitted any papers. I cannot mail her anything. I did have a call with her on Friday, but only because Mrs. Kappelman facilitated it for me. And on that call, it was not a private call. Ms. Adelson was forced to put me on speakerphone with guards listening. There is just no way that Mrs. Adelson can prepare for her defense in this manner.
All right. There is one question that I had specifically as to this issue. And I noticed within your pleading that you had quotes from your client and also some observations of what has been taking place with the correctional staff. Are you alleging that you have no ability to access your client or that there is limited contact with your client?
No, Your Honor, I'm not saying that there is no ability. The direct observations that are contained within my motion were not observed by myself, but Daniel Rashbaum, Charlie Adelson's attorney, had a visit with Charlie Adelson, and he was able to swap it out for Miss Donna Adelson the week of, I think, November 27th or 28th. So he was able to have that conversation with her in person. I've had a conversation with her, like I said, over the phone. I have been told that I can do a 60-minute increment visit with her in person. There is no video visitation.
Wait, so how was Charlie's lawyer able to see her? She said something about like doing a swap, but like how the lawyer was the lawyer was supposed to meet with Charlie, but then did a swap and then got to meet with her instead. I wonder how come she wasn't able to meet with her. All right, introduction. Donna Adelson, 73-year-old grandmother, was arrested in Miami, Florida on November 13, 2023, after her son, Charles Adelson, was convicted of murdering Dan Markel in an alleged murder for hire plot. I feel like putting the grandmother there is like trying to like give her some sympathy. They could just say 73-year-old woman. It's like saying like, oh, 73-year-old father, 73-year-old grandmother. That having that title right there kind of just like gives a little bit more like a little bit of a nudge for sympathy. After her son, Charles Adelson, was convicted of murdering Dan Markel in an alleged murder for hire plot, the evidence against Donna is circumstantial at best. While Donna's been charged with a crime, there's a presumption of innocence in this country. Very true. Donna's entitled to a fair trial. Yep. Has a right to counsel and has a right against cruel and unusual punishment. To date, all of Donna's rights have been violated despite the presumption of innocence in place. Arrest and time in Miami-Dade County. On November 13, 2023, Donna was arrested and transported to TGK jail in Miami-Dade County. Upon arrival at TGK jail, Donna was placed in a psychiatric unit because of her charges against her. Well, it's also because, what she was saying on that phone call with Charlie Adelson. She was placed in an isolation cell with a small sink, mattress on the floor, blanket, and a toilet. Donna did not have any access to clothes, cups, silverware, books, blankets, or toiletries, and was only permitted to shower once. Although she had access to counsel, she was not permitted to use her phone to contact family members. Following two psychiatric evaluations, Donna was cleared within 96 hours of her arrest and placed in general population where she was able to contact her family and attorney. Donna's mental state has not changed since the determination by the psychiatrist at TGK Miami. So she was, she was held for a bit, and after 96 hours, she was in Gen Pop. Okay. Transportation to Leon County Jail. On November 20, 2023, around noon, Donna was picked up from TGK Jail and transported to Leon County Jail. Her transporters placed her in the back of the transport vehicle with no water. Several hours into the journey, Donna tried to get the attention of the officers because she needed water in a restroom stop, but she was not able to get their attention. Approximately 4 to 5 hours into the trip, when the officers finally checked on her, Donna was shaking, dehydrated, unable to stand or move. As a result, the officers had to call paramedics to a rest stop. Leon County Jail. Upon arrival, the Leon County Jail officials put her in the infirmary under direct observation. She was then placed in a small solitary unit with a toilet, sink, and mattress on the floor and a dirty blanket. So I guess what I'm wondering here is she was already under direct, what's it called again? Direct observation. She was already under direct observation, which I guess is like suicide watch. And she was cleared after 96 hours. Is it because now she's transported to a new county jail? They have to like reevaluate her or something? Is that what happened here? I guess I'm just not really understanding it. She has requested a book or a Bible, but has not been given anything and has been forced to eat her food with her hands. Well, yeah, I guess she's not getting utensils because, you know, if you're on suicide watch, I guess. The day after arriving in the Leon County Jail, one of the jail's mental health officials, began questioning Donna about medications she was taking before she was arrested. Donna felt uncomfortable during this interaction because she could not see the official's face and wanted to verify that they were in fact a healthcare professional, but the official would not verify. Like, did she want to see the official's badge, I guess? Maybe credentials? When Donna made her concerns known, the official told Donna that Donna is a fancy white lady who murdered her son and now thinks she has rights. The official joked with other guards about this outside of Donna's door. The official then said that Donna will learn that fancy white lady murderers have no rights here, and told Donna, "Do you see where you are? Do you see where I am? I'm out here because I'm not a murderer." Since that interaction, some of the jail staff has treated Donna with cruelty. She sometimes denied her necessary blood pressure medication, and she's been prevented from showering for days at a time. In the 15 days that Donna has been at Leon County Jail, she's only been permitted to call her husband once on November 28, 2023, for approximately 5 minutes while the guards stood watch. It was only with the help of intervention of the state that this call took place. I don't know. So far, this is going to be kind of tough to prove unless it's like recorded. It's just going to be like he said, she said. In reference to like the comments made by the guards. It was not only with the help of the intervention of the state that this call took place. Oh, and she did mention that the reason why the defense attorney was able to have communication with Donna was because Georgia Kaplan intervened on her behalf. Donna has not been permitted to call her counsel at all. Yikes. At one point, a psychiatrist working at the jail told Donna that she does not belong in solitary unit, and another jail officials also told Donna the same thing. Then why is she in there? As a result of the cruel and inhumane conditions, Donna is becoming weaker and weaker every day because she does not have phone access. It has been impossible for her to contact her counsel, take part in defense, despite repeated attempts to call the jail, set up video visitation, and or set up a person visitation. Undersigned counsel has been unable to communicate with Donna since her transfer to Leon County Jail. Both undersigned counsel and the state have tried to get help from jail to no avail. All right, let's go back to here.
Ability. So I would say that there is no video visitation ability. So I would say that my ability to meet with her is limited. It's not non-existent.
Listen, I just want everything to go through smoothly because we want Donna to see her day on trial. Okay, we don't want there to be any mess ups, any weird shit going on, because we're dealing with that right now with the Murdoch stuff and Becky Hill, and you know, we're waiting to see what happens with the investigation and stuff. But we just want things to go smoothly, you know, treat Donna fairly. And I mean, assuming, you know, because like she said, she hasn't met with her. They hadn't really met, which is kind of weird to me. Even if you were placed on like suicide watch, like how would you not really have access to your lawyer? I don't know. That seems kind of weird to me.
However, my ability to share, for example, discovery, paperwork, the motion I filed with Miss Adelson is non-existent because she's not permitted to have paper.
Very well. We'll take up the other aspect of this in a moment, actually, which deals with the level of confinement and what is going on with it. Ms. Kappelman, does the state have any argument to make concerning this?
I think I did hear about that her lawyer is actually not Yeah, her lawyer is probably like in Miami, right? So she probably has to commute to go see Donna.
This matter.
The state would defer to Mr. Toomey, who's here to speak on those matters that I think you're addressing right now.
Very well. Mr. Pimentel, Mr. Toomey.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon.
As far as this particular issue goes, there is no impediment to her speaking with her lawyer, seeing her lawyer, over and above using a tablet. The tablet has a headset that can be used as a ligature. Otherwise, she's free to enter the jail. Chief Mack is here. He's assured me that they can have visit. I don't understand the problem that is perceived.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We're getting like diametrically opposite perspectives. He's saying that there's no, she can go visit Donna. There's been no issue. I don't understand what it is. And the lawyer is saying that, like, I haven't been able to see my client. We did have a 60-minute call finally because Georgia helped us out. And other than that, I haven't really gotten in contact with her. So I don't know. It's like, what is the issue here?
There is no impediment to an attorney-client visitation. Am I correct?
The first question, we'll have Chief Mack give some testimony so that way we have a clear record. But the level,
like, where is the disconnect?
Of confinement and also the current restrictions that are in place, are these because there were at some point statements alluding to self-harm during the jail phone calls?
And at booking here. When she was booked into the jail here, she made a statement that she wanted to die. Now, before she was arrested in Miami.
Donna over here shaking her head and she's laughing. All right, hold on. Let's go over to Donna really quick because I just want to see her reaction to all of this.
And at booking here. When she was booked into the jail here, she made a statement that she wanted to die. Now, before she was arrested in Miami, she also had a phone call with her son, who's obviously in jail here. 25-minute phone call. I personally listened to it. She very clearly spoke about a plan to kill herself using sleeping pills.
One moment, Miss Adelson.
Oh my God. The attorney's like, shut the fuck up, Donna. Shut up. You see that Donna said, oh my God, out loud. And the attorney put her hand and was like, shh. Donna, stop it. Stop it. Control yourself. Hi, Cynthia. How are you doing today? Hello. Cynthia, thank you so much for the 19. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So happy. Remember when you started? Hi. Hello, hello. Yeah, Donna, calm down, Donna. Damn. I wonder if Donna's going to be like, I was just joking. I can't believe you idiots took me seriously. I didn't want to self-harm myself. I don't know. We haven't listened to the jailhouse calls yet between her and Charlie Adelson.
Who's obviously in jail here. 25-minute phone call. I personally listened to it. She very clearly spoke about a plan to kill herself using sleeping pills.
One moment, Miss Adelson. Please keep your comments to yourself. Let your lawyer argue on your behalf.
Spoke of a plan to kill herself if she could not escape the country before arrest. That was known to the folks in this jail when she got here. That's why she's on watch.
Oh man, my alert went through super late. Thank you, thank you. She said, oh my God, she was shaking her head. And then I think she's just going to say that I was just kidding on those jailhouse calls, or maybe she's accusing them of lying. But we had the arrest affidavit.
To kill herself if she could not escape the country before arrest. That was known to the folks in this jail when she got here. That's why she's on watch. The mental health professionals see her every day. They are not satisfied that she's safe. And it's up to them to decide it.
I'll give you an opportunity to respond, Mr. Scalzo. Mr. Toomey, one more thing before we move on into taking Chief Mack's testimony. Is there a specific procedure that the jail has for dealing with inmates with a threat of self-harm?
Yeah, what is the procedure?
Chief Mack, let me swear you in. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes, sir.
If you can explain to me what the procedure is, Chief Mack, and from there, Mr. Toomey, Mr. Pimentel, I'll allow you to direct Chief Mack on any other matters you believe to be pertinent. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Anytime anyone makes a statement or we get evidence of someone wants to actually harm themselves, they're placed on direct observation. on direct observation and receive a smock as well as a suicide blanket. And they're placed in an isolated room. It's just direct observation is what it really is. So we have a staff member outside the door that actually watches them around the clock, make sure they don't cause any harm to themselves.
She's shaking her head.
When are the individuals who are under this status reevaluated for going back to general population?
That's done daily with yes care personnel.
Mr. Toomey, if you have any further examination for Chief Mack, I'll allow you to do so at this time.
Very briefly. Chief, is there a way for someone that's on suicide watch to have a direct visit with their lawyer?
Yes, we will pull the individual from the particular area that they are housed in and put them in an office with just the attorney.
Yeah, then I wonder what the disconnect is, because how come her lawyer hasn't been able to meet with Donna then? They're saying
Are
there's
there
no
any
issue.
remote capabilities for someone who is in the suicide or close watch observation wing?
Remote capabilities?
As far as phone calls, Zoom, tablets, things of that nature.
That person will be escorted to an office where we can actually see through the door, a glass window, and the officer will stand on the outside and just watch them from the outside.
And this is related to any concerns you have about self-harm.
Yes, that's because of we just keep constant view, keep them in vision to make sure that they don't do anything or pick up anything they can take back to the room and harm themselves later.
Mrs. Scalzo, do you have an examination for Chief Mack?
Her lawyer just needs to make an appointment and show up exactly how Charlie's does it. Yeah, because I mean, if Charlie's lawyer was able to see Donna and he said, she said that he did like a swap. I guess like initially the lawyer was going to meet with Charlie, but then ended up swapping the appointment and meeting with Donna instead, and he was able to. Yeah, there has to be some sort of disconnect.
I do, Your Honor.
All right, let's see what she says.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may.
Thank you.
Let
Would
us
you like
know.
me to proceed from here?
That's fine.
Thank you, Your Honor. Chief Mackey, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Mac.
Chief Mack. Chief Mack. Have you listened to this 25-minute call that Ms. Adelson had before she was arrested?
Not in its entirety. I actually heard the portion where she was speaking of wanting to do a pact with her husband. I'm assuming that's who the individual was.
Chief Mack, do you participate in the decision on whether Ms. Adelson needs to remain on direct observation?
No, ma'am, that's a medical.
Okay, is the medical person that makes that decision a psychiatrist or another person?
That's Dr. Sapp.
So is Dr. Sapp a psychiatrist?
Donna over here.
Okay. Do you know if Dr. Sapp has examined Ms. Adelson?
She advised me that she spoke with her on different occasions or been around the area while another clinician was talking with her.
Well, how is Miss...
Donna can't help herself. Donna, she can't help herself making all these facial expressions, stuff like that. I don't know, man. Maybe in Donna's world, maybe she vehemently disagrees with everything Chief Mack is saying.
Spoke with her on different occasions or been around the area while another clinician was talking with her.
Well, how is Miss...
Not true.
Dr. Zapp?
Sapp.
Zapp. How is Dr. Zapp... Zapp with a C, I'm sorry?
If you could spell it, Chief Mack.
S-A-P-P. Sapp.
Zapp. So how is Dr. Zapp supposed to determine whether Mrs. Adelson can be removed from direct observation if she doesn't evaluate her?
From what I was advised, she has evaluated her and also other members of her staff.
Chief Mack, would it surprise you if Dr. Zapp has not evaluated Mrs. Adelson at all?
Oh.
I couldn't say that I wouldn't think that she would tell me something that wasn't true.
Do you have a report from Dr. Zapp establishing... I'm sorry.
I wouldn't take, because of HIPAA laws, I don't necessarily get involved with medical paperwork of that nature.
Chief Mack, did you come to court today knowing that you were going to testify about whether or not Mrs. Adelson was on direct observation or not?
I knew I was supposed to be here, but the extent, I can't say I was privileged to told that I was going to actually testify, but I was prepared if I did.
Okay. And Chief Mack, knowing that you had to come here today possibly to testify, did you inquire how many times Dr. Zapp had met with Mrs. Adelson?
I did not, because they actually see everyone that's on direct daily, and it's more than just Miss Adelson.
Chief Mack, are you?
So Donna clearly thinks Chief Mack is lying right now. So Donna just mouthed not even once. So I guess Donna is trying to say that this doctor, Dr. Zapp, hasn't even met her with her once. And I think Dr. Zapp is supposed to evaluate Donna on a daily basis, see if that, you know, she still belongs in confinement or not.
With Mrs. Adelson?
I did not, because they actually see everyone that's on direct daily, and it's more than just Miss Adelson.
Chief Mack, are you aware that Dr. Zapp has never evaluated or met with Mrs. Adelson?
I can only go what I've been told by Miss Zapp.
Chief Mack, are you aware that Dr. Pugh is the only psychiatrist that has seen Mrs. Adelson, and that was on November 27th?
I didn't get that information as to who saw her. All I needed to know, or all I need to be privileged to, is that she needed to be on direct observation.
Chief Mack, do you have a list of all the times that Mrs. Adelson has been evaluated to determine whether she can be removed from direct observation?
Like I previously said, the only time I know they see them daily. And with that, I don't get any paperwork because I'm not a medical professional. I'm just making sure that her safety is taken care of.
Of course, Chief Mack, but just to be clear, I'm not asking whether you've seen any paperwork. I'm asking, in preparation for coming here today, were you advised how many times she had visits?
No.
Did you ask how many times she had been visited?
Not just knowing that she's being seen daily. I don't ask who actually saw her or what the conversation was pertaining to.
Chief Mack, if she is being visited daily, would there be a report of those visits?
Yeah, actually, there should be paperwork on this, right? Like, wouldn't there be like an evaluation chart you have to fill out every time you meet with Donna Adelson? Do we have those?
Yes, it should be notes that they take.
Daily.
Right.
Okay. And Chief Mack, if what you're saying is what you were told is correct, there should be a report from Dr. Zapp and from whatever clinician is meeting her daily, right? About the evaluation.
Yes, I would assume it is.
And Chief Mack, did you know that Mrs. Adelson was actually arrested in Miami?
Yes.
Okay. And did you know that she spent some time in jail in Miami?
Yes.
And did you know that she was there for about 5 days before she was transported to Leon County?
It should be something like that, yes.
And were you aware that she was at a county jail, very similar to the Leon County jail?
Well, I've never been to Miami's facility, so I can't tell you exactly what they do or what their policies are.
Okay. Chief Mack, were you aware that Mrs. Adelson was also on direct observation in Miami-Dade County for a period of time while she was there?
Yeah, I don't know. She's, I feel like it's like a cross-examination here. She's pretty aggressive.
No, I didn't actually see any paperwork of it.
And Chief Mack, did anybody tell you, any of your clinicians tell you that actually Mrs. Adelson was evaluated by the same psychiatrist over a period of 72 hours in Miami, and she was released to general population?
I heard something of it, but I don't necessarily, I go by our contract provider.
Donna's frustrated.
In the mail.
Who told you that she might have been evaluated in Miami and released to general population?
It was just something that was said. I think she may have spoken to an officer and said it.
Yeah, see, because I feel like we're not really getting much because we're getting Donna's side of the story, right? Donna's version, and then we're getting a version from someone who doesn't really know too much. His job is just to make sure Donna's safe, and his job, he just says, like, you know, I know that like she's supposed to be visited every day by an evaluator. I don't know who exactly. I don't have the reports or anything like that, but I mean, I know that she's supposed to be. So like, we're not really getting like a full story here. But I mean, if I was Donna and if everything that she said was true, and that's a big if right there, then yeah, I would be pissed too. Because I'm like, why am I here? I was in Gen Pop, why am I being detained here? Why am I not having access to my lawyer? Like, I would be pissed too if I was her. But then again, we don't have the full story. Like I said, there's some disconnect somewhere. It's possible that they're just fucking with her, but I mean, I'd rather believe that there's a disconnect than just, full force just be like, oh my God, these people are corrupt. They're just fucking with her. They don't like her. They're treating her poorly just because she's, she's a murderer and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll never even find out what the disconnect is.
Chief Mack, if she would have spoken to a clinician about that, you wouldn't know about that, right? Because that's HIPAA?
I wouldn't have known about it because I didn't speak to my clinicians. I just speak with them about Ms. Adelson in general.
What general conversations are you having about Mrs. Adelson with your clinicians, Chief Mack?
It's just how they evaluated her and where she is in her evaluation.
Okay.
She's going to be released on a step-down program or anything of that nature.
Okay, can you tell us generally what you have been told? What was her evaluation like? When will she be stepped down? What's happening?
That's something that they will tell me when that occurs, in the way of when she feels as though that Ms. Adelson is at that stage in the process. She will inform me of the step-down process.
Who is she?
That's either of the Yes Care personnel.
He only has to go on the word of a psychiatrist. If the medical professional says they're observing her, it's not his job to question that. Yeah, and then I think he's saying that he's not like he's going to get updates on every little thing about Donna Adelson. He's just going to be informed. Okay, she's good to go now. Put her in Gen Pop. You know what? We're going to keep her here. I don't think he's going to get the update because there's so many other inmates there as well. Not just Donna Adelson.
Normally, it's Dr. Sapp, Dr. Pugh, or Miss Smith, Miss Richardson.
Okay. So it's Miss Richardson, Dr. Pugh, and Dr. Zapp. Those are the three people you're communicating with about Mrs. Adelson's treatment or step-down process?
Periodically, I have a captain that actually is over medical, but I go through medical frequently.
Okay. Chief Mack, what did you do to prepare for today's hearing?
I actually just looked at some of the notes, even read the allegations concerning what Ms. Adelson was actually, I think it was more your allegations of what occurred in the facility.
What notes did you review before you came here, Chief Mack?
Other than looking at event logs, pretty much that was the extent of it.
What are event logs?
Event logs are what the officers sit actually on direct observation and documents what's happening while she's on direct observation.
Has there been anything that stood out to you in those event logs that the officers are leaving behind?
Mr. Scalzo, before this continues on, I want this to remain focused on the subject matter of the motion itself. This is not a deposition. If you have further...
Yeah, this is not a deposition. Calm it down a little bit.
Examination, I'll allow you to finish.
Thank you, Your Honor. Chief Mack, are you aware that the only person that has been communicating or evaluating Mrs. Adelson since the one time on November 27th that Dr. Pugh saw her is Miss Richardson?
Richardson. I'm not aware of who all. I know Miss Pugh seen her once, twice. I'm not sure, but it's just I'm getting information from my HSA and Dr. Sapp.
So to go back, you're saying Dr. Zapp has personally told you that Dr. Zapp has visited Mrs. Adelson?
She told me she was in the area with Miss Adelson. I don't know, because I wasn't present, as to what occurred during that meeting.
So what does it mean she's in the area? That she was around?
Yes, ma'am. That's what she advised me, that she was around.
Did you interpret that to mean that she evaluated Mrs. Adelson or that she was...
Maybe it's easier to schedule an appointment and to see them in person rather than trying to get a hold of her client via video/phone call. Maybe that's why Charlie Adelson's lawyer, when he showed up there, was able to meet with Donna? Maybe? Maybe something's up with the phone lines. I don't know. The officers don't show he is. I do like her aggression though. I do appreciate aggressive people sometimes.
Area that she was around.
Yes, ma'am. That's what she advised.
Not too
me that
aggressive,
she
but
wanted.
Did you interpret that to mean that she evaluated Mrs. Adelson or that she was around Mrs.
I
Adelson?
interpreted it as she being present in the area.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
Mr. Toomey, and a redirect.
Perhaps two. Chief Mack, Ms. Richardson, is she a mental health counselor?
Yes, sir.
All right. If there were notes regarding the interaction between men.
Well, I think what they were saying was if they were to have a meeting, I don't know, maybe whether it's video or whatever it is, I believe she's escorted out to like another room and then, but then they wouldn't be able to listen in. Yeah, I don't know how that would work. No, it'd probably just be like on speaker. Probably wouldn't even need to use headphones, right? You can probably just like do like speaker or something like that on like a tablet or something like that. And then just have like an officer just be on the outside just to be on the lookout in case anything were to happen. Because they said, you know, even though there's someone that's on like, you know, suicide watch, they still have the ability to meet with their lawyers. And I think that would probably go for video or for a phone conference.
Mental health and the defendant in this case, where would those notes be?
I'm going to be in a medical file.
Oh, the notes.
Recognize.
Oh, the notes. We've got the notes. Okay, I'm glad somebody brought the notes because I was like, where are the notes at?
This document as her medical file.
Looks kind of thick. That's a pretty thick stack right there.
Moving around a bit. It's been a day.
Yes, I would say that was a medical file.
All right. Do you know if anybody's asked for these besides me?
No, sir.
That's all, Judge.
Chief Mack, you may take your seat. Mr. Toomey, the place I did want to start with there being a procedure in place is to assure that this is not random or arbitrary. Is there a...
Yeah, so Mandy says her line of question is ridiculous. She keeps asking about the observation, ask and answer it. He only knows what he has been told by medical professionals. I wonder if there was like maybe an answer that she wanted him to say, and she thought that maybe she kept asking in like different ways that he'll like finally get to the answer that she wants to hear, maybe. Because I know sometimes lawyers be doing that in cross-examination. The defense looked when he showed the paper notes. LOL.
A procedure with regard to inmates with self-harm concerns or direct observation?
There is. It's standard in each and every jail. It is that until a mental health counselor or another mental health provider, like a psychiatrist or psychologist, is assured that that person does not possess or present a risk of self-harm, then they stay on that status. And they figure out where that status is by charting daily. The mental health counselor sees her.
Have you been able to provide a copy of either the policy or the patient file to Ms. Adelson's attorney?
I haven't been asked. I can tell you, before this motion was written, no one has asked for these medical records because I am the final arbiter in this state for this client. I decide whether the records are going out.
Okay, so we were wondering whether or not the defense attorney even asked for the records for these evaluations and stuff like that. What was I going to say? I also do wonder if these evaluations are a little bit kind of like, maybe the evaluations are not as overt. Like when they evaluate her, maybe it's not like a sit down situation where it's like, how are you feeling today? You know, how are you, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Maybe it's just kind of like someone comes by, they kind of examine her to see how she is, see how she's like acting. Maybe they ask her like little tiny questions to see how she responds to it. Because maybe to Donna, it's not obvious that she's being evaluated, but really she was. I don't know. I wonder how these evaluations, like what they look like. Or, you know, it could just be, Donna could just be straight up lying, but.
Very well. Moving on to the second issue that this raises, Ms. Desclazo.
It seems like Donna like vehemently just disagrees with what they were saying.
There is a very specific separation of powers issue that this poses for the court. The sheriff runs the jail. I run my courtroom. The DCAs have been fairly clear when it comes to the court essentially directing medical care, what goes on in the facility. It's basically a no-no without an actual violation of the Constitution. What is my authority to actually step in the situation and give you what you're asking for?
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if maybe she wasn't prepared, or maybe she didn't know that the evaluations happen on a daily basis and she didn't know to ask for them, maybe. I don't know. Because she put in the motion like over a week ago, so she had, some time to prepare. I don't know either.
Your Honor, I believe that there has been a violation of the Constitution here. There is, Ms. Adelson and I have not been permitted to talk behind this glass wall that they're speaking of. The first time we spoke was Friday. She was on speakerphone, I was on speakerphone, and she was sitting with a guard seated next to her. And the only way that that call was facilitated was because Ms. Georgia Kappelman was nice enough to call the jail and arrange it. I have called the jail repeatedly over the past 22 days, begging to be permitted to either speak to Mrs. Adelson or for Mrs. Adelson to speak to me, and no one responds.
Yeah, that's weird to me. I wonder what's up with that. Hey, Bobby.
Mr. Toomey's response that nobody has called him, nobody has asked him for records. I tried calling the general counsel's office repeatedly in the past week to try to resolve this issue.
Did she also try to call and ask for the records, but she was unable to?
I understand what's being said today in court, and like I said in my motion, I understand that there's separation of powers, and I understand that the court is limited in what they can do in directing the jail. But I think that one thing that Your Honor can do is, you have heard that the jail, and Mr. Toomey said, he's the arbiter in this state. All jails run the same. The jail in Miami-Dade County cleared Mrs. Adelson, a psychiatrist, a mental health professional that works for the state, that works for the Department of Corrections, has said that she is not required to be on direct observation. She comes here and all of a sudden that changes.
That's what I want to know. I want to know what changed, or did they just fudge up?
So I feel that there's some sort of disconnect, and I think that there needs to be a third party evaluating her to make the determination. And I think that that's not an unreasonable ask. That's something that the jail can accept, and I think the state is not opposed to that. So that's what I'm asking the court, to allow me to bring in my own mental health professional to evaluate Mrs. Adelson and make a determination whether or not she is a suicide risk, or for the jail to accept the determination or speak to the jailers in Miami-Dade County that observed her and made a completely different determination about her mental state.
Mr. Toomey and Mr. Pimentel, what administrative remedies are actually available to inmates absent the court stepping in?
Well, that is a key question when it comes to injunctions. That's
Yes.
There are two means. First, that there's a grievance procedure in the jail that can and must be followed. Second, there is always civil suit, either in this courthouse or the fancy courthouse up the street. So there are legal avenues in place that preclude the entry of an injunction.
Wait, file a grievance or a civil suit, like sue the, like sue them? She's like, oh no, that's more paperwork, it's more headache. Hi, Suppressor, how are you doing today? How's it going? Hello, hello. There's a grievance procedure in jail, okay.
That can and must be followed. Second, there is always civil suit, either in this courthouse or the fancy courthouse up the street. So there are legal avenues in place that preclude the entry of an injunction. There was something that was just said. I am not the arbiter for the state. I am for this client in the jails that they have in this state when it comes to sending out the medical records. It's either by release or by subpoena. The authority is there.
Mr. Pimentel, do you have anything further to argue on behalf of the sheriff?
Well, Your Honor, I need to put something on the record first. James Pimentel, General Counsel for the Sheriff's Office. I've been Sheriff McNeil's General Counsel for almost 7 years now. I've never heard from this attorney. I haven't heard from anyone representing this defendant. Any assertion, sir, that they've attempted to contact the Office of General Counsel. I have a paralegal. I have email. I've never been contacted by this defendant or this defendant's counsel.
I'm sorry, I'm just so nosy. I just want to know what's going on. Does she have like the wrong numbers that she's dialing? Is the paralegal not answering her phones? There's something up with the voice messages? Because she said she's been trying to call for like 22 days. I want to know what's going on. I don't think we're going to find out though.
Very well. I'm going to make my findings as follows. As to
we're not
the
gonna find
issue
out.
of there being a Sixth Amendment violation where there is no access by Ms. Adelson to counsel of record, I cannot find that.
I don't think she's lying. I don't think she's lying. I don't think she would lie. I think there's just something weird is going on. I think I usually tend to believe that rather than just sort of be like, oh my God, they're lying. You know, unless I see a pattern of lying or indications of lying, then I'll be like, okay, this motherfucker's lying over here. But I don't know, something's up. Is the lawyer incompetent? People make mistakes. She seems like a competent person. Or maybe it's just because her aggression is just appealing to me or something. I don't know. There's just something is up.
However, Ms. Adelson being able to confer with counsel privately, Mr. Toomey, Mr. Pimentel, is there an ability to make accommodation for that even in the observation wing?
Yes, Your Honor, there is. Chief Mack and I will work to ensure that. We have a protocol, Your Honor.
Very well. What I would ask you to do then is please speak with defense counsel as to what accommodations can be made so she can visit with counsel privately as she prepares for her case. Obviously, there's a very voluminous amount of discovery that's already been provided by the state. Is that correct, Ms. Kappelman?
Yes, Your Honor.
She is going to need to be able to speak in private with her attorney and go through all documents, all records, all manner of evidence that the state is seeking to use as a part of its case in chief. Does she
Georgia Kaplan, can you please teach a defense attorney how to get in contact with Donna Adelson? I mean, Georgia was able to do it. How did Georgia do it?
have ability to use either a computer or some form of multimedia while in direct observation?
Your Honor, she wouldn't be able to do it while in the direct observation cell, but we would make accommodations through security to make that occur.
Very well. According to the policy that you already have in place, when will her status as residing in direct observation be revisited?
Every day, Your Honor.
Yeah, every day. That's what they're saying.
Right, Mr. Scalzo, as to issuing an injunction against the jail, I do not believe I have the authority to do so. The District Court of Appeal rulings, and I'm specifically going to cite to Bradshaw versus Sandler. This is found at 955 Southern 2nd, 1219, 4th DCA case from 2007. That specifically dealt with a trial court who ordered a defendant to be taken to a dentist of his choosing. Similar, by analogy, for me to allow Ms. Adelson to be seen by a psychiatrist or psychologist that is a third party is stepping on the separation of powers in that regard. Until there's been an exhaustion of remedies with regard to whatever internal procedure is available for her to avail herself of regarding grievances or other matters with the jail, an injunction is not something that I can entertain at this point.
Okay.
Did you wish to be
Motion
heard
denied.
further?
No, Your Honor, not on this topic.
Ms. Kappelman, did you have anything further you wish to argue on behalf of the state? Right, Mr. Toomey, Mr. Pimentel, and Chief Mack, if you can get with defense counsel, I think that will eliminate next time the need to have any hearings on a basis such as this. Obviously, Ms. Adelson wants to prepare for her trial. She is entitled to do so, but the sheriff runs the jail. I fully recognize that, and I respect that. Do you wish to be heard further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Right, let's move on to the matter of the
All right, judge says, y'all figure it out.
arraignment, also why we were here this afternoon as well.
Excuse, Judge?
You are excused.
Your Honor, before they're excused, I would like them to provide me, yes, their business card so that
Hey,
I...
Torigen.
Thank you.
That's fine.
All right, we're swapping business cards now. Does anyone think this is some type of tactic from the defense? I would love to hear the jailhouse call the show with Charlie. I was thinking maybe, because I thought it was really weird that she would reveal her plans to Charlie. on a jailhouse call, especially knowing that these calls are recorded and people do listen to them. I was wondering if she thought maybe they were going to come after her, and she was like, well, you know what? If they come after me and they put me in jail, I want to make sure I'm in like a medical facility hold or something like that, because maybe the conditions are me better. I don't know. I was thinking maybe that's what she was probably trying to do by saying that. Or maybe it would help with her defense that she's not mentally competent to stand trial. I don't know. This is me super stretching here. Because I was just really wondering, why the hell was she saying all this on the jailhouse call? Because maybe she knew that they were going to go after her and arrest her at some point, and maybe she was trying to be like, oh, I'm mentally incompetent to stand trial. Like I want to harm myself. I don't know. I don't know what was going on. I think this specifically here, I think there is a major disconnect, especially with the lawyer saying she hasn't been able to meet with the client, and then the jail is like, well, they're free to meet. I don't know what the issue is. And then Donna's, over there shaking her head at, when Chief Mack was saying that, like, oh, like she's evaluated on a daily basis. And Donna's like, no, like not even once. Like Donna's saying that she was never even evaluated even once. I think the defense attorney's even saying that, like, oh, Donna was only evaluated once by a different doctor. So I don't know. There's something, there's a disconnect here. I think Donna, it seems like from Donna's perspective, and the lawyer's perspective as well, that they're just pissed that, like, there's been a lot of issues and they just want to meet together, go over discovery and stuff like that, but they haven't been able to. So yeah, I don't know. I think the tactic would have been the jailhouse call before she was arrested. I think everything that happened afterwards, I don't know if this is like a tactic of some sort. I think both sides just have, or one side definitely have their grievances, and the other side is just saying like, oh, there's no issue. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
I wrote to you on LinkedIn because I couldn't find you anywhere.
Should have left the country and wrote Charlie a letter. I also was wondering, maybe that's why they didn't show up to Charlie's trial in person, because maybe they were already, hovering that hand over, or hovering the mouse button over the buy tickets button. They're at home watching the live stream for the trial, and at any point where they're starting to realize that, like, hey, they might come after us next, we're just going to book it out of here. Because I just wonder why they didn't show up for the trial in person to support their, their son. Yeah, I do want to watch Jeffrey Lacoste's testimony and Charlie Adelson as well. I think we're going to be doing that either this week or next week.
As to the matter of the arraignment, does your client waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
How does she plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Not guilty plea is entered for the record. While we're here, we might as well have a brief case management as well. Ms. Kappelman, I believe you stated you've already provided discovery to the defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Scalzo, realistically, how much time do you think it's going to take you to go through what you've already received?
Your Honor, as long as I have access to Mrs. Adelson, as has been stated here in court, and she has access to be able, as you know, there's recordings in this case, and as long as she's able to listen.
Yep, we want them to have access to each other so things can go smoothly as possible. Because things always happen, right, for trial stuff. But hopefully things are going to be smooth.
To them, and we're able to listen to them together. We plan to proceed to trial promptly.
Very well.
Okay, good to hear.
I was thinking of when another case management date would be good to kind of keep a good status of this as far as where it's moving. Is February too early, or would you prefer March?
No, Your Honor, I'd like earlier. I don't, as long as I can communicate with Mrs. Adelson, I'm happy to have a status in January.
We like it.
That works for the court and the state.
We like
it.
Yes, sir. Be available in January.
I definitely don't want to push too hard too fast, but once we get locked into a trial date, absent there being good cause,
Oh, Mandy, I don't think anyone feels bad for Donna. Trust me, I don't feel bad for Donna. But we do want to make sure that she's treated fairly, because she's presumed innocent before she's, presumed guilty. And we just want to make sure everything runs smoothly, just so there's no issues later down the road. That way, when the trial happens, it's just smooth sailing. We don't want any more dark stuff happening. But yeah, I don't think anyone feels bad for Donna.
really not going backwards, so I want you to take.
Like in the motion, they wrote like, what did they write? 73-year-old grandmother. You know, I think just try to get a little bit of sympathy in there. Nah.
Give me realistic estimates as far as how much time it's going to take to prepare. As far as any depositions that you're already aware of that you are going to take in this matter, have you identified those? Have you noticed any?
No, Your Honor, because I have not been able to discuss that with Mrs. Adelson.
Very well. We'll pick back up with this then in January for status. Cheyenne, if you could give me the dates for January.
January 9th or 10th.
All right, we'll put it on January 9th. I believe that's Ms. Dugan's docket date. January 9th at 2:30. You may appear by Zoom if you need to. And we'll readdress the matter then. Does either party have anything further to address concerning case management, at least for today?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
We are in recess.
January
For
9th,
everyone on the
2024.
Zoom,
Wow,
I'm
less than
about
a
to
month
turn
away.
it off. That was the conclusion of the hearing. Have a good afternoon.
I'll give it to you.
All right, let's take a look at our calendar. Yeah, we're gonna go over the calendar. Unless things have changed, but Boone is also January. What's her lawyer's name again? Was it Maricel?
Deputy Bone, you can give him 5 minutes, but then we need to
Marcella?
shut.
I have Scalzo. Okay. All right, I don't know why it's replaying this again. Let's go to... what I have on here. Oh gosh, you guys can't see that, right? Let me switch to the screen. Display capture. Oh, there you go. Okay, this is better. Okay, so December 20th, we have motion on Brian. Oh, this is for the laundry stuff. Brian Laundry, attorney-client privilege. January 9, we have a status hearing. Donna Adelson. January 16, we have pre-trial / scheduling conference for Sarah Boone. Her lawyer didn't sound confident that they would be able to proceed to trial. At least to me, didn't sound very confident. I think he still wants to have a little more time. But the jury trial is slated to happen on January 29, 2024, which is the end of January. February 6th, someone mentioned to me that there was something going with Adam Montgomery. I don't know if that's the Adam Montgomery trial. I actually haven't verified this yet. Someone just mentioned to me in chat. I put it in there. We have April 1st, jury trial for Chad Daybell, slated to be 12 weeks. May, Petito Schmidt / laundry civil trial. July, we have Dorman. Okay, now we're just going a little bit further in the year. But yeah, January, we have Boone stuff happening. And then Boone stuff, Daybell in April. And then May, Petito, Schmidt, and Landry civil trial. So that's what we got coming up. But we know, there's always going to be delays. So hopefully there's going to be no more delays and things will happen on time, on schedule. But we'll see what happens. The Boone stuff has been delayed so many times. Many, many, many times. Oh, man. I just can't imagine being like right now, in my 30s, being in jail sounds very uncomfortable. I have a mattress that I like sleeping on. I got some medication that I like to take. Like having access to what if you get a UTI, getting access to antibiotics, ASAP, like I like drinking lots of water, I like working out. I don't know. It just seems really uncomfortable to just be in fucking jail at age 70 something. I got back issues. I got foot inserts because I got foot issues as well. Oh man. Oh, Donna. Was it worth it? Was it worth it, Donna? Do you have any regrets? I'm glad that the judge is addressing his concerns. And yeah, not to go too fast. Yeah, because she's like, let's go ASAP. And he's like, well, let's make sure that we're actually ready. So I do like that as well. Donna's going to be Donna is going to receive a fair trial. It is important that Descalzo has all the facts and information to properly defend her client. Yeah. I wonder if she was recently hired or has she always been involved? Like, did she have any? Did she partake in any of the Charlie Adelson stuff at all? I don't believe I saw her. Or she just hired recently. Oh, I see Georgia over here. Georgia's over here smiling. Hey, Georgia. Hope you had a good morning. All right, y'all. How are you guys doing today? So I think for this week, so far I posted the Jeff Lacoste interrogation part 1, part 2. And then I don't know what order to do things. So I do want to watch Wendy Adelson's interrogation as well. But I don't know if I should just watch Jeff Lacoste's testimony first and Charlie Adelson's testimony, because I do want to watch the testimonies. I'm like trying to think, what should be the order of things? Anyone have a preference or anything like that? The Koberger stuff. The last thing I heard about the Koberger stuff was that they were going to allow cameras. I think they were going to actually allow live streaming because there was a fight back and forth about that. I think the victims' families were okay with that, but the state, they didn't want it to have it to be live stream. We like it to be live stream because we like seeing everything as it unfolds. But Koberger, let me load up Koberger stuff. Let's see, Koberger. Yeah, this is the only thing that I've heard so far. Notice of in-camera submission. I know they were fighting over the genetic genealogy stuff. I know they were going over the, let's see, defense wants access to discovery stuff. What is this? State response to defendant's 10th supplemental request for discovery. Oh, I think that's for the genetic genealogy stuff. Yeah, I think it's just kind of like, I don't know, things are kind of happening, but they're just like sort of in limbo as well. Because initially, they were going to have the trial in what's like October, November, something like that. But they decided to not do the speedy trial anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really heard too much about the Koberger stuff. But, I mean, that's going to take a bit. I just watched the other video you did on Jeff, so the testimony would be nice. Yeah, maybe we'll watch the testimony. Maybe we'll do. Should we do Jeff's testimony or Charlie Adelson's testimony? Maybe actually, I don't know. I want to get to Charlie first. Maybe we'll do Wendy's interrogation and then we'll do Jeff's testimony. Maybe. Locked up abroad. Yeah. I think I'd rather sit in the US jail or prison than in like, I don't know, like Thailand or something like that. But I don't know, like there's this one case that I followed is this teenager who murdered her mom because she wanted to be with her boyfriend and they were in like Indonesia or something. And that, I don't know, that prison over there, that seemed super chill. Like she had access to like TikTok and stuff like that. I don't know about the conditions though. The conditions look hot. I didn't think I saw any AC units or anything, but they had like access to TikTok and stuff like that. I don't know. Bali, Indonesia, right? Yeah. Oh, she's back in the US, isn't she? Because I think she was her sentence was like what, like 9 years or something? But now she's in the US. And I think she's gonna be standing trial all over again. You watched a Netflix show called World's Toughest Prison is Madness. She's back home now. Yeah, I think she's awaiting another trial. Yeah, what was her name again? That case was wild. Because I was like, I can't believe she got 9 years for that. Her and her boyfriend plotted to kill her mom and then put her mom's body in a suitcase. Yeah, I know that she had a baby, but I don't know if the baby was actually adopted by another couple or the other couple was just watching the baby until she was released, maybe. I don't remember. Yeah, that was a wild one. Yikes. All right, guys. How was your guys' weekend? Did you guys have a good one? So today we covered Charlie Adelson's sentencing, and he has some very brief words to say. Sure, the judge rolled his eyes, and then afterwards, I don't know, we dealt with another Adelson. Like, I don't know, the Adelsons are just, they're just, I don't know. I guess it's just like a reek of like entitlement, I guess. The baby was in prison with her. I think the baby was in prison with her like initially for a little bit, but another family decided to take care of the baby, I think. No? Was it like after she gave birth? Maybe she was like breastfeeding or something. Because I think ultimately there was another couple that ended up taking care of the baby. But yeah. Oh man. Oh god, it's still so early. I guess since it's so early, I have time to edit the videos, and I'll put the video out today. What is something you know to be objectively true, yet everyone you know disagrees? Oh, fucking hell, that corgis are the fucking best. Okay, they're the best dogs ever. It's like, no, people think corgis are the best. I don't fucking know. Wild stuff. She raised a child in prison. It was like a vacation camp. Did she? All right, guys. Yeah, so we'll have the videos, the live stream edited, and I don't know, I'm just like super tired. I don't know if you guys can tell. My brain is working at like 20% capacity. Lots of word trip ups. I'm tired. I went to sleep late last night. I really want a corgi. They're so cute. They are. I saw this. I posted this on my Instagram. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram. It's the same username as my YouTube. There's a corgi, but it looks like a German Shepherd. It's like a German Shepherd corgi, and he's so stumpy. Oh my god, it's so cute. I don't know if it's actually like a German Shepherd corgi mix, or if it's just like a corgi that just has really dark hair and just somehow looks like a German Shepherd, but it's so adorable. There's also like this husky too. There's a husky. It looks just like a husky, except it has like short, stumpy legs, and they just look so funny. Poor little guy. I won't tell my Yorkie or my pug. He said, "Oh my god, pugs are so cute." There was this pug that used to live in my building that was so mean, and then the pug moved out. And then there was this other cute pug that moved in. So I love pugs all over again. Any end of the year book recommendations, everyone? Have I read any books lately? What did I read lately? I read a lot of like fantasy, sci-fi books, romance stuff, but I haven't been doing it lately. What did I read recently? Hold on. I did read something recently that I enjoyed. What did I read? Oh my god, why can't I think of it? I can't think of it. Oh, you read Brittany's book? I was thinking about reading Brittany's book. I mean, honestly, I was thinking about reading Brittany's book, Becky Hill's book, and Donna Adelson's book as well. Or not Donna Adelson, Wendy Adelson's book. Just to check it out. People are like, no, don't waste your time, Corgi. I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to read it. We read portions of Becky Hill's book, and I said that it writes like a high school girl who's just like writing in her diary. But I kind of do want to read it. Let me see. I have my... Does anyone here use their Libby app? It's super cool. You can download Libby, and you could essentially borrow books from the library, but digitally. So you don't have to go there. Let's see. What's in my history? Oh yeah, I'm also reading like random books that we read in school as well. Like I'm reading The Secret Garden right now, just cause. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to read White Oleander because I remember the movie was kind of weird. I don't know, I have like a bunch of like weird books in my thing. Yeah, I read a lot of weird shit actually. I'm not gonna recommend these. Oh, there's this one book. I haven't read the book yet, but I watched the movie. It's called Sweet Bean Paste. Was kind of good. Oh, The Midnight Library. I enjoyed that. The Midnight Library. It's a very short read. Crying in H Mart. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I haven't finished that yet. My book was returned before I was able to finish it, and the waiting list was like 7 weeks. I was like, shit. So I never got to finishing it. Libby's amazing. I know. I can't believe I didn't know about Libby. I just don't like borrowing books from the library because when I was a kid, I borrowed this one book and I turned the page and smack dab in the middle of the page, there was this giant crusty booger And I almost threw up. I couldn't read the fucking book because I couldn't read it. Oh god, it was just so gross. Ugh. But yeah, digital books all the way. Ooh. A thriller is called The Chain. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, if you guys have book recommendations, let me know. I'm always down to read. I'm just reading like random shit right now. The Chain. The Chain. By Adrian McKinty. Okay, I'm gonna place hold. Oh, it's a 2 weeks wait. That's not bad. Usually it's like 10-week waits for some stuff. So you gotta like reserve a bunch of books and see which one comes back first. Oh, I can listen to the audiobook. Okay, I'm gonna borrow this one too. Borrow for 21 days. Rose Matter. Okay, let's see. Rose Matter. You know, I've never read a Stephen King book, actually. Rose Matter. Place hold. Oh, I'm actually really surprised. Usually the audio is the one that takes longer to get a hold of, but all the audios are available. I don't know. I prefer reading, though. I think reading is better than listening to someone narrate the fucking book for me. I hate listening to the narrator. For the most part, their voices are just like, I don't know, it's just like, ugh. I can't get into it. Do we have anything else? What is that? Frederick Chopin? What is that book about? Chinese pirate queen called the Flower Boat Girl. It was interesting. That was my booger, my bad. Yeah, I'm gonna make you fucking eat it. Holistic Dictation. See, Dirk. Hi. Hi, Lily. How are you doing today? Dirk Gently. Let's see. What is this? Wait. Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. Is this nonfiction? #1 in the series. Okay. Oh my god, it's an 11-week wait for that one, Lily. Follow with me after Sarah Boone's trial. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay, what was the other one? Oh, Brittany. I don't know if Brittany's book is available on here yet. Oh, it is. Place hold. 10 weeks wait. Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna place a hold on it. Brittany, I love you. Brittany. Okay, I don't know how I feel about a Chinese pirate queen. Flower boat girl. That's my type of book. Shiver's my favorite book. Thriller, mystery, trapped in the room. Ooh, based in winter. I love scary winter books and movies. Wait, Bobby, have you watched this movie called... It's literally like in a winter cabin. It's about this dad who has a new girlfriend, and they decide to stay in this winter cabin, but his 2 children do not like her, and they think she's up to something. It was a pretty sad movie, actually, at the end. Yeah, I know Chopin is a composer, but I didn't know what Frederick Chopin... Is it like a book about Chopin? What is it called again? Let's see. Instead of walking backwards to the bushes, Wendy had the goal to write a book. His family. But the book she wrote was before Markel's murder. It was it like 2011 or 12 or something like that? She said it was like a book about her, like taking stories from her clients or something. Let's see, anything else? Shiver. Oh, wait. You can Junji Ito books? What? I didn't know you could do that. I didn't watch it, but I watched the movie review and I know what happened in it. Oh yeah, I watched do you watch Foundflix? That's my favorite one of my favorite YouTube channels. I watched the movie review too, because sometimes when I watch scary movies, I get nightmares and I'm like, I need to chill, okay? Because I want to get some good sleep. But I think I'm okay now. I think I can go back to watching movies without getting nightmares. I was fine until watching this Korean horror movie called Gunjam, and there's this one scene that is so freaky. So freaky. And it fucked me up for like months, so. We've sorted your books together for the next 4 months. I need something available now. Oh, Spotify just offered audiobooks on premium. Really? Spotify? I don't have a Spotify account though. Hi, Pitbulls. How are you doing today? Pitbulls and MMA. Hello? Yeah, I don't have a Spotify account. It was Amanda, the Jedi's review. Foundflix scares me. Yeah, the issue that I have with Foundflix sometimes is he does include jump scares. I'm like, dude, no, I'm watching this because I don't want the jump scares. Like, I don't want the jump scares. Stop it. So I like Foundflix though. I do like him. But the thing is, he doesn't always include jump scares. So when he does, it comes out of nowhere. I'm like, why? The reason why I'm watching it because I don't want the jump scares. But I watched The Nun recently and had a lot of jump scares, but I was fine with it. So I think I'm okay now. I think I'm okay with the jump scares. All right, guys. So next stream, we will do. I don't know. I just have to decide if I want to do Donna, not Donna. I keep getting Donna and Wendy's names mixed up. I need to decide whether or not I'm going to do Wendy's interrogation next, or Charlie Adelson's testimony, or maybe Jeff Lacoste, or there was a friend that was interviewed that I want to watch as well. It was a friend of a mutual friend of Dan Markel and I think Wendy as well that I think had the same theories as Jeff, but I wonder if she's friends with Jeff or if it's just like a whole separate person who also thinks the Adelsons had a hand in it. The Housemaid by that sounds The Housemaid. I like the title already. I like it when there's like a sort of like a division in classes or like a future dystopian society, the futuristic shit like that. Let's see. The Housemaid. Rich people versus poor people. The Housemaid. What is this about? Oh yeah, this seems up my alley. Okay, I'm going to place this on hold. It's a 9 weeks wait. Oh my God. 9 weeks. Y'all better read faster. Read faster. Okay. All right. Are there any books that's available for me now? No, everything is placed on hold. Oh no, I got the chain. Okay, so maybe I could read the chain then. I didn't get to read White Oleander before I returned it. Whoopsies. All right, I'll start on the chain and we'll see how that goes. Have I seen? No, I think that's the person I'm talking about because the video popped up on my feed. So I think that's the one that I want to watch. Yeah, I heard about that. Same conclusions, which is just odd to me because I wonder these red flags that they're getting. Like, I don't think I have any friends in my friend group where I'm just like, oh yeah, like they're capable of hiring someone to murder someone else. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if I know anyone in my life that would have the capability of doing that. Well, actually, but I cut them off though. There is this one person who I think could do some psycho shit like that. Maybe, but they're already cut off. Dune is always a good. I really wanted to get into Dune, but then it was ruined for me because someone, I think it was Dennis. Dennis told me it was literally like a combination of Star Wars and something else, and I don't like Star Wars because when we watched the Dune movie, I couldn't get into it, and I kept falling asleep. And I was like, you know what? I probably can't get into the movie, but I do like sci-fi stuff, so I'll probably just read the book. But I don't know. Dennis said Star Wars, and I was like, oh my God, you're ruining it for me. Thank you so much for covering the sentence. I'm sitting at home. Oh, I'm in a car accident. Oh no. I hope you're okay. Car accidents are just fucking horrible because sometimes, like, even though you may feel fine, sometimes the pain like creeps up later on, which is horrible. That happened to me. We had like actually we had a couple of we got rear-ended a couple of times, but the first time it was like annoying. I had a neck thing that went away, but then we got into like it was like a 3-car rear-ended accident on the highway. And initially I felt fine, but the pain crept up like weeks later. I was having like, I don't know, like my back and my neck was just didn't feel right. Luckily I'm okay now, but yeah, just be on the lookout for, creeping pain like that and make sure you get, you get like medical treatment or, physical therapy or any of that stuff. All right, y'all. I hope you guys have a good one. I'm going to pop on out now, and I guess I'll work on editing the videos. I do have a new Storytime True Crime video out if you guys want to check it out about Caitlin Armstrong, the yoga instructor who changed her face and went to Costa Rica. I was just, yeah, that trial, that case just like really intrigued me. So we did a true crime story time about that, and I plan on doing some more in the future. I just don't know what case we're going to be doing. I do want to do it on the Adelsons at some point, but I feel like there's so much information that I need to absorb because there's a lot of things going on with the Adelson stuff. Like I have the general idea of everything, but there are just some details that I still want to know about this. But yeah, guys, let me know if there's any other cases you guys want me to cover, and let me know. Oh, Kindred, it's okay. Hi, Kindred. How are you doing today? I usually upload the videos on my YouTube channel. So I'm also live streaming on YouTube as well. You can watch the VOD or whatever on YouTube, and I think on Twitch as well. It should be available. But if you want like a more like condensed version where it's just not like us like sitting here and like talking like live stream format, I usually just edit them and post it on YouTube, and I'll try to do it today. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good one. Thank you so much for hanging out. Join the Discord if you haven't already. We have a true crime channel. You guys can post stuff about cases and anything you want me to cover. Feel free to do that. Or if you don't want to do true crime related topics, there's other topics in there as well. You guys can chat and follow, I don't know, socials, I guess. Socials, YouTube, blah, 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 and all that stuff. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you guys have a good one and take care. See you later. I don't think I'm going to take a nap today. Should I take a nap today? No. Taking a nap with makeup on sucks.